I do believe we are live. So I'll say indeed and greetings unto you, beloved and holy friends. It is a pleasure having you here, joining us again, finding another moment of compartmentalization. That is technically today's stream topic. Compartmentalization. It's a nice word to say, compartmentalization. I don't know if you can say it 5 times fast. Compartmentalization, compartmentalization, compartmentalization. Surely you can. But I have been noticing in my own experience how compartmentalization has been showing up. It has been this experience of finding myself thinking things, acknowledging that I'm thinking the thing that I'm thinking about, and then almost putting it away. Almost like opening a drawer that you realize has been used for the last 5 years to put all of the miscellaneous little things away in. And then you close that drawer again. That's how I feel like my thoughts have been. Thinking about a bunch of random things, thinking about the past, thinking about the future, specifically thinking about it from this perspective of almost like time slots, like periods in our life. I have this microphone all the way down here. I don't know if the audio has been good this whole time. I don't know where I want to put it. I put a lot of water on myself, scarves, and then my mini water retention scarf as well because it is hot. You don't have to. Oh. You don't have to compartmentalize. Is that so? What do you know that I don't? So let me give you some context on what I'm talking about, Maulao, with this whole compartmentalization as a topic. I've been thinking a lot about RPAN, and I think the fact that we have been able to for a while now, but the fact that we're choosing to do some vertical streaming is making me think more about that than ever. And RPAN, in a way, is a compartmentalization in my mind, right? When I think about RPAN, it exists in a box somewhere in space time, in reality, in everything. And as I'm thinking about that, and as I'm almost like exploring the boundaries of this box that this important thing of mine has been, I realize that this box is adjacent to many other boxes as well. Hi, meow lao, hello Mel, hey, Jovan, it's nice having you. So, some company that tried to brute force their way into my house via advertisements do not appreciate. Oh, before you had to actually go live, I'm doing some experimentation right now, Sam. I'm doing some experimentation. I did hit the button that says that this video is going to be monetized, and I'm guessing it works. We have Bakara. I have not seen your username before, friend, but it's nice seeing it now. We don't usually do these vertical streams. I think this is technically our second one ever. And the reason we're doing it is because YouTube asked me to. Yes. Personally, they were like, please, Mel, please. We're begging of yous. Start doing vertical streams. That's not exactly true. Exactly. Right. Let me show you the email. Actually, I can show you the email of what it looks like. I want to put this somewhere. I think maybe on my necklace is gonna be the best bet. Don't get wet. It's still getting wet. Fine. Let me see. Let me see. I'll go to this one. Yeah. It's not even that long ago. Like I didn't have to scroll down that deep. Did I just automatically deleted? No, please bring back. Oh, here it is. No, it's not this one. There it is. YouTube creator. So yeah, YouTube basically sent out this email where they were like, "Go vertical, go live, grow your channel." and reach a whole new audience. Just one stream, I gained a ton of subscribers. So yeah, I have been inspired. I have been inspired. It's nice having new friends here. You have a 10,000 aura. Good vibes. Nice. 10,000 aura. I haven't heard someone, I don't think someone has ever said that to me. Has someone said that to me? I do take it as a compliment. That's very nice of you, Bakara. It's nice to meet new friends here. You'll find that my community is very friendly and they'll celebrate having you here too. I'm getting my comments pulled up on this screen so that I can see more. Is this Varging? Yeah, it's definitely an experience seeing myself vertical too. There we go. Now I got my comments open at all times. I'm having an interesting start. Got caffeine. I wanted to caffeinate myself today, Maulao, but decided not to. I have these things called G Fuel. These things. They're little sachets of G Fuel that Jovan brought me when she came here to South Africa. And I only have 12 total. They come in little boxes of 6, the carry package. And I think I have consumed 5 of them, at least. So I have like 7 left. And they do definitely do the job. They're not just caffeine. They're, there's nothing illicit in them, I'm pretty sure, but they have a bunch of other novel compounds that give that little mental prickliness that I do appreciate. I do find value in it. Oh my goodness, I have a tweezer somewhere here. Yay! I have so many folds that things get lost. So I wanted to take some caffeine today. I was thinking to myself that there's a part of me that performs better if I'm a little bit more caffeinated. And then that part of me got silenced by, I think, scarcity. And I'm definitely one of those kinds that gets used to things. That if I could, I would get into the cycle of drinking myself some G food before every stream. 10,000 minimum. Yes, positive. You have 1 million aura. Yes. So much aura right now. You're making my aura grow, bro. I don't know if it's aura of ego that's growing right now, but I do appreciate your love. We have Sadir saying hi as well. Namas. Namaskaram. Namaskaram to you too, dear hoopy poopsies. Hoopsy doopsies. It's nice having you here, bro, Pino. It's nice having all of you friends. This definitely is a different format. It almost changes the way I stream as well. And I do think we're going to maintain this pattern of doing like a little bit of vertical and then we'll flip it over and then we'll do a little bit of horizontal as well. Spell my name. Sudhir Lama. I had to like make sure there's no sussy bossiness happening. Sudhirlama. Correct. Yes, I can spell. I haven't had to spell in a while. Interestingly enough, I never was one of those kids that competed in spelling bee competitions. It was happening. I just couldn't be bothered. That I couldn't be bothered by, but I did do public speaking. That my mom almost took as a non-negotiable. It's like you're gonna do public speaking and you're gonna be good at it, and that's the final say in the matter. And good. Maybe like a few thousand points of my aura, as Bakara said, came from mom forcing me to do public speaking. Sudhir, so nice of our friends to welcome the new ones as well. This vertical view looks better than yesterday. You think so? Because of my environment? Or because of the actual pixel count? Like is the delivery on your server side a little bit better? What part of it is better? Do let me know. Yes. We need to make the hair more fabulosos. Being on camera is weird, okay? It's pretty strange. I don't think I'll ever get used to it. Maybe I have gotten used to it. Maybe this is what getting used to being on camera is like. Hmm, surely. I enjoy it at least. Spending time with you friends. I'm trying some strawberry fields right now. This is Kristen's favorite strain, and I think it's the third time I have shared some more of this with myself. And it got shared to me the first time, knowing that it is Kristen's favorite as well. So now every time I try it, I get to try it from that perspective. Yesterday's vertical view didn't fill my phone screen. That is strange. I'm happy that it's working now. How many girlfriends do you have? What a strange question as well. I'm taking it as a point of flattery, but you have to ask me the number of girlfriends. Not whether or not I have a girlfriend, but how many girlfriends I have. I have but one girlfriend. Technically speaking. How many girlfriends do you have? Uh, do I have the emotional maturity and capacity to have more than one girlfriend? What a question that is. Today's stream topic is about compartmentalization, and I feel if you had to have more than one girlfriend, you would quite literally have to compartmentalize your life, right? Or if you can make it work, you would have to bring those compartments together. You would have to suddenly try and, but still, I don't think that would work actually, because again, it's an emotional thing, right? Like being a person and feeling reassured and secure in your relationship is a pretty tall order, and some of us can't even do it right with one person. How do you deal with jealousy and potential resentment? It's not something that hasn't crossed my mind. Has made sense. Has made sense as one point of concept. Messi or Ronaldo? What's happening? This does feel like Arpan. I do feel like I'm back in Arpan right now. This is kind of nice. It's kind of nice. No. All right. I'm a Dynavap for the first time since South Africa. Which one do I try? Rice or Cherry Jerry? Cherry Jerry just sounds so comical. It sounds so lighthearted. Cannot not go for that one. Do try it. Bless you. I see Louisanna's here with us. One beautiful girlfriend. True. Yeah. This is true. My mind wants to make the joke and say something like, and a few ugly ones, Louisiana, but that's a bad joke. That's such a bad joke. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for even thinking about making that bad joke. Duck Dad, bless you, bro. It's nice seeing your name here with us. I've been checking the tracking information every hour for the last 5 days. It's the new chainsaw day. Yay. Is it a Black Friday deal? Is it Black Friday already? Isn't it Black Friday only technically at the end of the month? You needed a chainsaw now. I wasn't waiting for chainsaws melt. Duck Dad says. Hey, Joy Vive is here with us too. Novelty. Yes, we're seeing this as a little slice, a compartment of novelty, something a little bit else. And then we will do subscribe. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. We do these live streams every day, one, and I do usually do them vertical, horizontal. And now we're trying the vertical stream because it's making me reach you, right? That's what's happening right now. That's why it's happening. But we will probably switch over a little bit later. Thank you, Trevi. Thank you, friends that have been here for a long time for being patient. And yesterday's stream topic was about acceptance, for accepting this, for compartmentalizing with me that this is something that helps, that can help. So we do a little bit for the neighbors' kids. I think I missed a few. Scrolling back up again. No, no, been checking. Okay, Jovan, you take a deep sniff of each and do the one that calls to you. That is also the best way, in my personal opinion, to determine which one calls to you. I was thinking Jerry, and Sniff confirmed. Thanks, friends. Perfect. New chainsaw day? What happened to old chainsaw? Did you share with us? I have to work all day, and we're going to have an after Halloween s'mores, making campfire party for the neighborhood kids. I have several chainsaw. Uh, Is the plural of chainsaw? Chainsaws? Chainsai. Yes. I have several chainsai, Sam. The one that I was trying to repair from 1993 was starting to take some money time. Uh, was take more money time than it was worth, I'm guessing. So I splurged and got myself a brand new one that I can maintain. And I was scrolling back up. He's just saying new chainsaw day. I'm not seeing anything about it being an electric chainsaw. I'm guessing it won't be. I'm guessing the fuel powered ones are probably still more powerful overall. But I'm happy that you're getting a new chainsaw, bro. Huzzah! Huzzah! First step in you being an arbiter as well, right? Technically speaking, if you're gonna chop trees, man needs good chainsaw. I can justify with you, bro. I like the way Sherb Sherbzuka Sherbzuka sounds. Where is this that? I have Sherbzuka, says Maula. That is pretty cool, bro. Sherbzuka. Hook me up with some Sherbzuka plug. You say no, it's gas. Ah, gas powered. Yeah, for your use case and for climbing up a big tree or something and going out in the world and stuff. Maybe the gas powered ones are still going to be more useful. I'm just a stickler for electric things. And again, it was because you mentioned the whole maintenance. There's a really good brand that makes really good chainsaws, and makes them electric. They should last forever. They should just have their batteries and blades replaced every now and then. The actual machine should last forever. Sure, Bazooka. Good morning, Joe Bud. Love you again, Allah. I love to fix and refurbish, but I'm sick of inheriting other people's problems. If that makes any sense. Makes perfect sense, bro. The parents of the neighborhood kids love it. It gets rid of the kids for a few hours. A chainsaw? I think chainsaws get rid of kids forever. But I think you're talking about the Halloween s'mores making campfire party. Yes. Yes, that's actually what he's talking about. I'm not grim. I'm being of light, I promise. No Messi. No Ronaldo. Yeah. I would lie. I think I know the difference between Messi and Ronaldo. And I think I imagine both of them in their brass busts. Hey Google, show me Messi and Ronaldo's brass busts. I hope we get a side by side. No, I'm cry. It opens it up on YouTube when that's not what I want. I wanted images, but it's fine. I'll be patient. Cherry Jerry, Ben and Jerry selling me. No, I would legit not be surprised if there would be a Ben and Jerry's wheat infused ice cream 5, 10 years down the line. Plural of chainsaw is chainsauce. Get me some of that chainsauce. I've been going down this compartment in my mind, little rabbit hole, if you will, of making my own sauces. I feel like that would be a righteous thing to do because I do enjoy the occasional sauce on my food, but I do not enjoy eating vegetable oils. So I'll read the labels and I'll see there's vegetable oils on it, And then sometimes I'll be dissociative enough to just ignore the fact and still eat it anyway. But most times I just don't. So I would like to make my own so I don't have to think about that stuff anymore. Another compartment we've opened and closed. Yes, Melt is engaging. Yes, Melt is engaging with his nervous system, consciously living 100. Engages more with nervous system, starts itching, starts noticing the flies around me, the sounds. Oh goodness, no, I'm doing like 20% nervous system engagement right now. How much of your nervous system is engaged? I don't know. I'm being weird. Because it really does. I'm getting a sense of RPAD. I'm seriously getting a sense of RPAD. I don't know why it is. I think maybe it's because of the lack of comfort, right? It's almost like I've gained a lot of comfort in showing up in my normal live streams because it's almost like I know who's there, and now it's like I don't. And it's like, oh, there's a restaurant, a restaurant. Oh, geez, sauce. Yeah, this is a big 18-inch bar for big trees. Electric chainsaws are great for little stuff, but that's way too much weight for climbing trees with. Yeah, true. Plus, you can't carry a backup battery on the rig. Yeah, no, I'm on your side. I get it. I get it. It makes sense. The internet says Cherry Jerry is 50/50 indica sativa made from animal cookies and 3x crazy. Do one. Mm, animal cookies. I haven't tried animal cookies or 3x crazy. I think by the time I come and visit America and I try whatever the ever it is you friends have growing in your warehouses, goodness, I don't know if I'll recover. Good thing I use a Dynavap and I don't smoke anymore. Because I think smoking definitely does add a lot of volume quicker than you realize. The fact that it's still not legal everywhere, it might get legalized everywhere soon, right? Right? Is that so? Is that a blue vote perk? I think it might be. It's not the chainsaw that I would have bought if I had a few more $100 laying around. It's the most I could spend and still feel responsible. Yeah, that is a interesting line to tread as a business owner slash someone who's making business decisions or purchase decisions based on whether or not a tool can recoup its cost. It's a interesting compartmentalization tactic, duck tab. Does it look like justification to you too? Mine looks like justification. I do a lot of justifying, trying to justifying. What have I been wanting to justify? Solar. Solar has been the thing that wants to get justified in my mind. It's just still pretty expensive. The batteries are still pretty expensive. Not really if you have some cash kicking around, but if you don't, they're still pretty expensive. So my mind is in these two compartments. One compartment says the longer you wait, the better the tech and the cheaper the tech gets. And the other part of me says the less you wait, the quicker you start decarbonizing yourself as an energy user. And again, I'm not one of those people that spends his whole life in a deep state of self resentment and personal judgment because I have a carbon footprint. I don't. But I like the bragging rights of being able to think about. I don't really, maybe I would talk about it, but I like the bragging rights within my own self of thinking about how I'm living. My energy is coming from the sun. Like it's a sexy idea to me. It's like, yeah, yeah, ain't need no man, just need sunlight, right? It gives me a sense of satisfaction. Remember, my tiny little badass power sword is electric, and I ran that sucker all day yesterday. It's true. That's why I kind of like was in part thinking that you might be getting some more electric gear. I'm moving you a little bit out of the sunlight because I think you were getting bow blasted. Yeah, this this thing. I wonder, is there a kind of gender attachment to compartmentalizing as well? Is one gender more likely to compartmentalize than another? I can compartmentalize so hard that I kind of cease to exist in a way. The thing that I think I am, the me that I exist as when I find myself in a, I want to almost say the word pleasure seeking state, right? And pleasure seeking can look like just having a meal, sitting down and eating something. That version of me almost needs to cease to exist when I compartmentalize in a certain way. Maybe it's not a ceasing of existing, it's more putting it in another compartment and then opening so many drawers above that it's almost not even visible. I hope this makes sense. Do let me know. Do you do that? Do you do that? Do you compartmentalize? I wonder if my comments are a little bit busted. They might be. Yeah, they are. 100%. Big busted. I've been missing a bunch. Sorry about that. I see George Pittman, rosin, or water hash. Just dry herb, interestingly enough. For me, it's a flower thing. I like just going straight for the flowers. In part because I really like the way they look. I love flowers. It's for me it's a marvel of nature that these things can exist, right? This gemstone. I'm holding a little gemstone that smells like strawberries. And that is miraculous to me. And I'm a cultivator as well. I live in South Africa, so all of these things are of course completely legal, fortunately. So I am very involved in the process of growing my own flowers too. And the amount of personal satisfaction that I take out of that is quite significant. I wonder about the whole rosin or hash and stuff as well. Some people just go for that. Like they will literally not touch flowers anymore. Mm, honey, my spiritual leader told me to change Sadhana, please, dude. Dude, cannot type shit like that in chat. No. The Ronaldo press. It's so fucking cursed. Yes. I was wondering if it was hard to not say brass balls instead of brass busts. Suddenly this is a different stream. Oh goodness. With just the Dynavap, it's hard to consume more than a few grams a day, for good or bad. Agreed. Agreed. Like my max consumption in a day is about like 3 grams, which is not a lot. I wonder how you can put that into a relative for a person. Would be like maybe you can represent it as like thumbs. If nugs, if little flowers were thumbs, you could do like 3 thumbs worth, right? That much in a day. Like that is, the max I've been able to do. And relatively speaking, that's not a lot. If you think about people that chain smoke cigarettes, for example, like I wonder. Hey Google, how much tobacco is in a single cigarette in weight in grams? 1 gram. Yeah. So 3 cigarettes worth of bud. Right. How many cigarette smokers do you know that smokes way more than 3 cigarettes a day? Yeah, probably most of them. So in that way, 3 cigarettes doesn't sound like that much to me. And since it's a Dynavap, there's also no carcinogens. If you don't overheat it, that is. So that still has some green left in there, technically. We have anonymous. So we're in copper. I feel like I'm missing some context on that one. Sorry, friend. Maulo Milani is a Halloween champion. She'll go longer than any of the kids in the neighborhood if we let her in. Into the haunted house? I'm guessing. Bless. Melted today feels melting. Totally feels like justification at the chainsaw. I'm telling myself it's my training. Saw first street job I booked that's over $5,000. I'll go out and buy myself a badass $1,000 saw for life. Nice. Okay. I feel you, bro. The batteries are expensive for solar, but from my knowledge here in the United States, the inverter is the most expensive part. If you're getting a really good one, you can, because that's one of the limitations you friends have in America is that you have sometimes very high energy draw. And in that way, you need a good inverter to be able to output that amount of energy continuously, right? And that is the part you pay for. The mind machinery gets uncompleted real quick when you exhaust yourself or remind yourself of your mortality. Is that true, Maulao? I don't want to disagree with you, but instantly my mind thinks about statements like memento mori, right? And I think about certain monks practicing with that in mind, where they'll literally look themselves in the mirror in the morning, first thing, and remind themselves that one day they will die. One part of me that wants to almost agree with you is that for a long time our species has been existing in this impending state of doom. And I feel like it is time for us to transcend that way of being. And a part of that transcendence is going to become the transcendence of death, or at least transcendence of accepting that we will die. All right, like a certain hubris is arising in our collective minds of like, actually, I'm not gonna die. How about I'm not gonna die? How about I'll gene edit myself? How about I'll upload myself onto a computer? How about I'll code my DNA into an ancient tree and then live as the planet eternally? How about that? But we don't want to consider. I think dying is just kind of lame, you know. I shouldn't say the word lame. It's not very exciting. Yeah, maybe it is kind of exciting because you don't really know what's gonna happen, and there is a certain discovery in that. But many people before have discovered for us. 120 billion human beings have existed on planet Earth. That's a lot of people. And in that way, we are uniquely positioned as a compartment of humanity to not have to think about those things anymore, to think about new things like not dying, for example. New and novel. Joy Vive did start the day talking about novel. How many views you get on yesterday's stream if they switch to vertical? Yesterday, I think we got 123 total views in the 30 minutes that we were vertical. About the amount of views I get in a week of doing horizontal streaming, you know. So I spend 7 to 14 hours horizontal streaming for 120 views or so. And then in 30 minutes, we do the same. So it's like suddenly I have to now recompartmentalize. Be like, oh, and things need to be considered. And as such, thinking about it, I don't know any cigarette smokers. That's actually a good thing, actually. I think that's a major win, not only for you, but for our species. Unfortunately, I've been living with two cigarette smokers this year, so I have been too close to the action, right? And now, well, yesterday, John came back home again from a gig, and it's very hot again, so all of the doors and stuff are open, and there is a crop freeze happening, and then they're smoking cigarettes outside at least, and I'm inside my room, and then suddenly I get assaulted by this foul smell, right? And it's like the smoke particulate coming through the house, just passing by. But still, even just the passing by, I'm like, these fucking cigarettes. How dare they? How dare they cancerize my friends? Mm, it's like you with the camera, man. You with the camera, man. Yeah, I know. I know. Interestingly enough, that you say that, that has definitely been a part of the compartments that I find myself within. Because I always want more tools to do things with. But I feel, in a way, in this compartment that I'm in right now, I have gotten all of the tools that I need to succeed or not succeed. Right? I don't think I'm going to succeed any harder by getting any more tools right now. I do want an EUC though. For me, it's the EUC. EUC that I'm justifying, bro. The only reason I won't be able to justify an EUC in the short term is because they do not have an inverter in them. Weirdly enough, Duck Dad. That would be the sales point for me. If my wheels can also be a technically portable battery bank in that way, where anywhere I drive it, I now have a 4,000 kilowatt hour, well, not 4,000 kilowatt, you see, a 4 kilowatt hour battery. That's a pretty big, nice. Like, I like that, you know. Like, to give you an idea, 4 kilowatt hours is enough to power a relatively decent gaming PC for between 4 and 8 hours. So that's a good amount of juice. It's enough. It's enough power to keep your TV, literally keep your TV and sound system on for almost 24 hours, depending on how big your TV is. It's a lot of juice. So that's what I'm waiting for, bro. I'm waiting for them to put inverters on EUCs. To you friends who don't know what an EUC is, it's an electric one wheel. It's one wheel that self balances and in this axis, and then it's strapped with batteries. And then you put your legs on those batteries, and then you lean forward, and it goes forward. I have now technically ridden one. Technically, there was a guy at Bloom, a music festival that I went to recently, that had one, and I asked him if I could try it, and he helped me. If I didn't have help, I would have 100% became very familiar with planet Earth. But fortunately, I had help. Mm, I close my shower door. My cat likes sniffing the shower drain. Yuck. It's probably a bunch of novelty down there. Bunch of novelty, I'm sure. My coworker who sits behind me is quitting smoking, so he's grouchy. This isn't the first time I've experienced this with a different coworker. I'm sorry to hear that you are aware of his grouchiness. I'll just say those words, you know. But I'm happy to hear that he's trying to stop smoking. Bless him. Melt, what you feel doesn't really change reality. I don't know if that's true, bro. I don't know if that's true. Because what I feel, what you feel, what we feel has absolutely changed reality. Right? If we feel that one political candidate is not worthy, then we can choose to not vote for one or the other. And in doing so, change reality. And I hear you going like, no, Mel, you still had action more than just feeling. You know, but most of our actions do arise from feeling. So, if anything, What we feel change the reality of our actions. Right. 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 Technically. Molo, if you have enough money, what you feel can absolutely change reality. You just have to be big enough piece of shit to do it. No, not even that. Right? You can feel that it's unacceptable that people die without healthcare, people die without food, people die without housing, right? And if you have enough money, if you have enough influence, you can do something about that. You can change the reality of many people. So it doesn't have to be the asshole angle. Does make sense though. That probably is the majority. Little American product. For me, I'm thinking about the fact that these parts, the main body of my Dynavap, got brought by Jovan, and then the parts that I had as my main body from my Dynavap, I replaced with hers. And then she took those back to America. And this is an American product in the first place. So it had to come all the way here to South Africa to be here. So there was like a little bit of a happening. Physical matter. It is very convincing. It is very convincing. Do you believe this is real? I've had to compartmentalize. Because it's almost, at least in my mind, and not always, sometimes, one of those things where having to accept that this is real is unreal. Right? It's almost like I don't want to. And then at the same time, there is this balance. Channel 5 News had this video, and seeing the amount of people talking about depression and about the heavy state of existence that they're in, and then watching how almost ubiquitously, like for every single person, when they share about their struggles, their depression, they preface it by also talking about how much they love being alive, right? And that contrast came up over and over again. And it is a compartment we find ourselves within, all of us, that we are having a hard time at it, but we still love being alive. And I believe if we can compartmentalize hard enough, good enough, we can survive. We can see this time in our history as a species through, and we can see the other side. And I'm not talking about heaven, I'm more talking about post scarcity. All right, when we have collectively as a species come to this agreement that a human life is worth more than everything else that we are parading, literally worth more than everything else. Because what is this all for if not for human life? And the AI is gonna definitely shake that tank, especially when it comes to the post scarcity fractal. So you can make sense of people. I know I can't. Oh, I've never said such a thing. I can't make sense of people, but I can sympathize. I can try to understand. I can understand sometimes even. I can grow, can learn from, but making sense of, I think there's a lot of stuff going on inside people's minds at all time. like a type of metaphorical explosion that is ceaselessly happening. Wouldn't be surprising if there is some spatter happening. But we don't need to stay strangers when we share our feelings. Don't misunderstand love. Mm. Compartmentalizing. Gobbledygoo is here. Dude, we're going down the compartmentalization rabbit hole. Good morning and good evening to you too, bro. Do you compartmentalize, Gab? I feel like you might be someone that does. But this isn't a 100% projection from me because I see a lot of myself in you. I said this thing today in stream that's been kind of like sticking with me where I go, I have compartmentalized so hard sometimes that I cease to exist. Or at the very least, this thing that I think I am. All right. That thing ceases to exist so that I can get something else done. And realizing how I've had compartments like that in my life. And it brings up a bunch of questions about the self. Just the other day, I thought about compartmentalizing when thinking about how we judge people around us. Bro, that's literally what what inspired today's stream topic. I was thinking about that from this perspective of like almost like you can judge a person like and then have it like I said in a little box. You can watch how this whole judgment unfolds. You can ask questions about this judgment in yourself. You can look how this little judgment unfolds. And then it's almost like you can slide that box, that compartment, right back into the drawer and you can just not think about it or leave it alone. Sometimes you open that box, you're just standing at that drawer, opening that box up and down. But sometimes you can just close it and leave it alone. Just the other day, how I don't want to be judgmental, but we have to judge in order to compartmentalize. Yeah. So you know what version of self you can and want to express. That's a really good point you're making, Gabarigu. Which part of me do I want to be? And if I have all of these drawers, these compartments of self open, right, unconcluded in that way, like I haven't been able to compartmentalize properly. I just have this stuff that is like in your head all the time. It's also not exactly helpful, especially not if you find yourself wanting to solve problems or wanting to think critically or wanting to make progress in one way or another. That could be a whole stream topic in of itself. Making progress, compartmentalization is definitely one way to make progress. Thinking about what you said about judgment of others, how you don't want to. I'm wondering if that is something I actively want or not want in my experience. I feel my judgments usually come with a certain awareness, right? And maybe that's what you're experiencing as well, Gabadigu, is that part of you that is paying attention to the fact that this is now a judgment that is arising and that you don't want to be doing that. That is awareness, right? And in that way, it's not you that's judging. It is this system, this weights and biases that is this person. that has been shaped, been manipulated, been conditioned into believing certain things. Right. And the fact that that awareness in you exists, that you can question that behavior, means that you're already in the right direction. Entropic focus is a helpful concept to understand the autistic experience. Monotropic focus. I do not even know that one. I should go and do some research. I consider myself a functioning fractal, untrapped butterfly. If you're still here, friend, I love everything about what you just said and your username. An untrapped butterfly. First words on stream is I consider myself a functioning fractal. That is awesome. Me too. I would quite literally say that. And that is a terminology that we have become very used to using on stream. I like saying that things are fractal, right? Where you think in saying something, that's kind of the end of it. But in you saying something, a thought can be generated. And then that thought can lead to you thinking about how you would go about doing the thing that you just thought about. And then if you're as you're thinking about doing the thing, you think about the people that could potentially help you, and as you're thinking about these people, you might call someone, and then as you call them and talk to them, they start going down this thinking rabbit hole, right? So what to you might have just been a hello, I hope you have a nice day, ends up being world changing on the other side of that fractal as an experience. So huzzah, functioning fractals, all of us. Thank you for showing up, dear friend. She was, we easily hyper focused, but often get dysregulated and confused. It's true. It's true. It's true. I was thinking about compartmentalization after dinner with my dad and his wife. They are hard to be around. I was very upset after. I felt myself judging them for being judgmental and was tripping out about it. Yeah. What a joke, isn't that, Gabanigo? Very beautiful for you to share that with us, and I thank you for it. But that is quite surreal. It's like you might be around a bunch of racists, right? And here in South Africa, there is a fair share of them too. And then you find yourself in your beingness being like, oh, how dare you? How could you be like this? What's wrong with you? And then in doing so, you're doing the exact same thing, right? A sense of separation is being created. Then there is a certain type of unity that people that live in that world find as well. Your mom, your stepmom and dad might find themselves very chuffed, very happy with themselves, being like, this is good. Yes, we're the best people ever. Because everybody thinks that, right? Everybody thinks they're a great person, or at least we want to. I had this conversation about what it takes for us to get lost, right? What it takes for us to not respect ourselves, and asking that question in this compartmentalizing way as well. And I was having this conversation with Stefan, one of one of John's friends, and he said that he thinks everybody starts with a modicum, an amount of self-respect, and every single time you diminish that, it becomes easier to. And it's, I think maybe that's where I get caught up. And maybe you can relate to this as well, Gob, is that I feel it's a respect thing in our minds. It's like a respect for others, it's a respect for the self, in not allowing yourself to say certain things or to be a certain way, right? And then in growing as a person and gaining a certain amount of perspective, you gain a certain amount of respect for yourself and for your actions. And in you wanting to have respect for someone like a parent or a family member or a friend, for example, suddenly that gets very much in the way because it almost does the opposite. It creates this almost like, how dare you kind of energy. So I get you, bro. I feel you, man. Very, very Maritaverse. Yes, Sam has been a trooper. Oh, thank you, Sam. I appreciate you being. Okay. It's that weird place where stereotypes exist for a reason, and this is why no one likes you intersect. You have to strike a careful balance between our behavior and our perspective on others. Thank you. Yeah, you surmise the experience well. Bless you, bro. Thank you for sharing your experience with us as well, man. Respect. Growing a certain level of respect for your planet, for your body, for your friends, for what it means to live a good life, for the well being of your animals, right? It's like there's so many layers of respect that we grow or diminish in ourselves, depending on how we compartmentalize. Because you can compartmentalize into self destructive behaviors too. Definitely. I suppose I concluded with the mindfulness of forgiveness of self and others. Yeah, at least the intent to forgive is worthwhile, as it's easier said than done. Yeah, forgiveness, the best way to think about forgiveness, at least that's the way that I've been trying to really crystallize it in my mind, is that forgiveness is something you do for yourself, right? In that way. And you did surmise that, conclude that as well with your mindfulness, because you realize that there was this pattern happening inside your own psyche, your own being of, uh. And the only way to rid yourself of that, is to forgive yourself for feeling that way. To forgive them for making you feel that way, right? To forgive yourself. And it's such a game we play. Sometimes it doesn't help to think about things. I think that's why we really do like these things, these distractions, because it gives us something else to think about right now. You can you can listen to the words, a little puppy running over a beautiful green meadow as the sun is rising and lush clouds are catching the sun's rays. Boom. Thinking about something else now. Look at that. Look at that. You can be thinking anything. You don't have to think about that topic. You can think about melt. I'm not a visual person and I don't know how to do what you're saying right now. Boom. Still thinking about that. Didn't think about whatever else you were thinking about beforehand. At least the intent to forgive is worthwhile and is easier said than done. Yeah, it is true. I forgive myself and all others for any perceived wrongdoing, misstep, or unthoughtful word. I release all tensions that I hold and remind myself that it's me that's holding on. My favorite analogy of anger as well, or the lack of forgiveness, is the cactus analogy, right? Where someone making you angry or saying something that is rage inducing could be them metaphorically handing you a cactus. And in your trust, in your vulnerability, having ears to hear the ridiculousness that someone else is spewing, get to grab onto this cactus and it hurts. It's absurd. How dare they do this thing, give you this cactus, and then you're the one ultimately holding on, right? And the only way to stop feeling the pain that is this cactus that they gave you is to let go of it. You know, that one has been shared into infinitum. I suppose I concluded. Let's again. Let me just see if I can refresh. But it has been an hour. It has been an hour of us streaming. Look at us showing up. I didn't do a horizontal one. Part of me still wants to. Maybe I'll do a horizontal stream. Some debris just fell on me. I'll do a horizontal stream almost just as like a nice little, like a little cap off. Okay, this is what we talked about. This is what we concluded. Now we pull a card and then we say goodbye. I appreciate you friends for joining. If you're not, subscribe. I do this every day around the same time. I'll see you again soon. I love you, friends. Thank you for joining me. And I'll see you in a little bit. Like I'm gonna do another stream right now. Just a horizontal one.